Rage Against the Machine. A band you'll never see in its entirety performing live again, unfortunately.
No.
Oh, no. Thank you, Zach De La Roca.
So sad.
Oh, that's okay, though. Maybe he's out there just trying to right the wrongs in the world. Let me check. Nope.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, welcome back to the show. It's now 8:33. Time for a confession session with Weirdo. As you know, if you need to get something off your chest anonymously and get that burden of a secret off your conscience, the best way to do so is by emailing weirdo@kfma.com. We will share your confession on the air and maybe even give you some advice along the way. So without further ado, Weirdo, what's our first confession?
All right. I use the Office A-holes pot of paper clips to clean out my ears.
Ugh.
I put them back covered in wax and enjoy her face when she rests them between her lips before using them.
Oh, no.
She always complains about the taste of metal. Life is simple. Don't be a, I can't say a C word.
Yeah. So that is revenge. It's amazing, too. She still hasn't even picked up on the fact that she's like, oh, the metal tastes weird. Don't put it in your mouth first off.
Yeah, that's so gross.
Yeah, and that's not metal. Maybe she's getting addicted to it. You don't even know. You know, I mean, something's so gross, and there could be chemical compounds in there that could make it addictive if you continue to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sure anyone that picks their ears and eats it does it not sparsely, but, religiously. I know. It's so gross. And honestly, I have super clean ears now. I went a couple months not cleaning my ears because Jen Blanco, who's
don't use the Q-tips.
Yeah, it was just like scared me from Q-tips. So I tried listening to her, and it was so gross. It was so gross. I could feel balls of wax in my ear hole. And I'm like, well, how is this better? This is not better.
I severely regret picking this confession.
Yeah, all right. Give me another confession. Let's cleanse our palate.
All right, this one I can relate to. And actually, I think this will be a good lesson for a lot of people. It says it recently came up in conversation that not everyone else gets the runs from eating mushrooms. Turns out I've got an intolerance I've been ignoring for the last 40 years.
Oh, I thought they were talking about psilocybin, but it's just mushrooms in general.
Correct.
Well, at the same time, if you know what you're going to get into, they're still delicious going down, and then it's going to fly right out of you. I think, there's a lot of times I'll eat something where I know that
you're like, I'm going to regret this.
It's going to liquefy.
Be delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. But not even regretting it. So say if I want to cleanse myself, it's a great way to kind of get over any kind of constipation. Eat something that you know is not going to agree with you.
Yeah, but this is something that I had to learn, right? Because of all of my food intolerances, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And I took care of it. I was like, man, I feel great. And because of it, I've actually learned, I've discovered new foods that I enjoy. I actually eat a lot more variety of food now having dietary restrictions.
Oh, nice.
But I'll have somebody be like, man, just every time I eat this thing, I feel like crap. And I'm like, so stop.
Nice.
You can find substitutes, I promise.
So what you're saying is your chronic explosive diarrhea led you to be a more experimental eater.
Yeah, it really expanded my palate.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah.
Moving on. All right, this is so good. My mother-in-law announced that she's moving about, an hour's drive away down the street from us. Kids are excited to have grandma around, but both the wife and I are now urgently trying to engineer branch transfers at work to have an excuse to move further away again.
Nice. Yeah, try to get away from the mom.
Yeah.
She will find you. She will track you down. I feel that pain. I'm 2 hours away from my mom, which is great, actually. And I see her every now and then.
Right. It's just close enough to, say hey, once every couple months, once a month.
For emergencies, I can be there, right? And for very special occasions, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump, all right? But at the same time, it's not just a pop-in, and random pop-ins, terrible.
Oh, God, they're awful.
Yeah, man, my mom was the type of person, I'm 30 years old, right? I'm in bed with my girlfriend with the door locked, and I'm getting intimate with her. She comes into my house unannounced, right? Goes and knocks on my door, and I'm like, go away. And she's like, open up. I'm like, no, I'm busy.
Right.
And she's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, go. No, I'm like, I am busy right now. Right. So, yeah.
The only response is somebody dying or is somebody bleeding? Otherwise, leave.
Yeah. My mom's the type of person that if she has an idea or something that she wants to talk about, it's urgent and it's emergency. There's no way around it. Can't wait a second, no matter what it is. Excellent confession session. Another confession session where I end up revealing more about myself than I should. We'll hit the reset and be back with more right after this. It's Rock 102.1. Let's get on the stream, shall we? Right. Oh, whoops. I was kind of on the air with that. Let's get on the stream, shall we, Ryan? Everybody, welcome back, Ryan, my boss from Tucson Roadrunners, Ryan, who is a child prodigy, if you will. You know, yes, you are
almost 26. So
are you
getting
almost
up there, yeah.
26?
August, yeah. But
Yeah, still a child though.
glad to be back. Glad hockey's back. Glad
Yes.
the team is back.
We had Adrian on earlier this week, and he was giving us a rundown of like how the boys were looking for their away stretch, which they ended up killing it, going 3-1-1.
Mhm.
So that's fantastic. It's been a pretty fun inaugural season. And if on anything, you know, I'm a very superstitious person. Hockey people are very superstitious as well. This is your first season as game ops manager, and we're killing it.
Yeah.
That's a good look on you. You know what I mean? Maybe
You're gonna might have to keep me around.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You might be a good luck charm. You know, and I know that Bob was asking at the beginning of the season, like, how's this kid Ryan doing? You know, what's the deal with this?
Give me the down low. You know?
Yeah. I'll explain here more. Let me just do a tease before I play some Gaslight Anthem. We're gonna give away tickets for the Roadrunners this hour as well. All right, let's see. This hour of music is going to be a little bit of new and a little bit of old, right? And we actually, on the podcast broadcast, we have the human personification of that. You got a little bit of new with Ryan, the game ops manager from the Tucson Roadrunners, and a little bit of old, my dusty ass. So we're hanging out, youtube.com/beefegan. You just heard new music from Corey Taylor. That was the new. Let's throw it back on this Friday with the Gaslight Anthem. Here's 45. I'm Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right. So I want to do a bunch of stuff. So we're going to play games. We're going to, catch up and talk hockey. And, also I'm kind of dreading. I don't know if I'm dreading Taylor Swift night, but was Taylor Swift night your idea?
No, that's
Bob.
That's a Bob Hoffman classic.
Well,
right there.
I'll tell you what, though, it is working because girls I know are like, hey, I want to go to the game on Saturday. I'm like, oh, this Saturday? No. Taylor Swift Saturday. I'm like, are you kidding me? So what are we doing to make a Taylor Swift night? I'll tell you what, I actually have an idea. Before you tell me what your plans are for Taylor Swift night, how about, because I know we're going to have Crystal and Yaz there as well. How about I get wasted like Travis Kelce, okay? And when I do say the beef sing along, I could just mumble sing something that people have no idea what I'm doing. I'm talking get blackout, and then I'll have Crystal and Yaz there pick up the pieces. They could represent Taylor Swift. I could represent Party Kelce. Yeah. Consider it.
Good luck for the Roadrunners there.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, I know the boys on the ice would appreciate that.
They'll be having a great time.
They will.
It.
Yeah, I was talking to Adrian about that too, where he's just like, you don't understand how much those guys pay attention to what we do during the game.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by it last season at the end of the year when the San Diego Gulls players recognized me and fanboyed out. But yeah, I mean, that's all the players, are looking up during the timeouts while we do this. And it's a trip. So that means Josh Doan, once he goes on to be a superstar, he'll low key know who I am.
Yeah, he'll be up with the Coyotes and I'll be missing beef sing along because you can't sing along during the game.
I know. At what point do you think the Coyotes will call me in as a ringer to help them out on their game ops?
I think you should be when they get in the playoffs, you should be their playoff guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Bring him in.
Right. The ultimate
the closer.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because look, the Coyotes, they have a good presentation up there for sure at the Mullet Arena, but they always utilize hot weather girls as their arena hosts, right? And nothing against hot weather girls, but they don't bring the hype, the Party Kelce aspect of being an arena host. I feel like I bring that more so than any beautiful woman would bring to the stage. Now I'm not as good to look at, but again, I mean, I'll make them rowdy.
Well, up there, they just don't put you on the camera. Problem solved. It's just.
I mean, I still want to be on the camera a little bit. Come on. I'll be fancy. All right. Here's how we're going to start off the show. Now, yesterday, of course, we were doing the All-Star theory as I talked about how Smash Mouth's All-Star is such a well-written song formulaically or I don't know if that's a word. But the point is that you could fit that song to any popular song structure, right? Any instrumental, just the way that it was written, mathematically, it just the formula is down pat. It has bridge, verse, bridge, chorus, bridge, and a 4 count at the 8 count, another 4 count, and again fits to anything. And we made this example several times over, but I did watch back the podcast broadcast, and the problem is when I was playing the instrumentals off the YouTube stream, that the audio would get kind of like over. It just sounded bad. Obviously, I'm just warming up. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna get you back in there. Well, I did a mix of what our performance was yesterday, and it sounds a lot better. And I want to play this for you real quick. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do to start off the show, especially since Darlene is listening to the podcast without headphones, and everyone in the grocery store gets to hear this. Then they got to rock out to this Smash Mouth White Zombie remix. So check this out. This is a fact. You could take Smash Mouth All Star and sing it to any popular song that was ever released from now until back in the 1920s. So this is the example, live performance. We are live on air. If you don't believe us, you can watch us, youtube.com/beefvegan, and just listen along. This is our version of Smash Mouth All Star with White Zombies, More Human Than Human. You guys ready?
Hey.
So no other radio show does this, by the way. They all suck. Boo. You got the realist right here. Let's go. I have no rhythm. You'll be fine, Avery.
This goes out to Smash Mouth guy.
Just lean into it. Ready? Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't start coming. Fed to the rules, now I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see, so much wrong with taking the back streets. You never know if you don't go. You never know if you don't go. Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Go! The cool place, and they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. But the media makes the differ. Judging by the hope in the satellite picture, the ice we skate is getting pretty thin. The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. The world's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it, it'll never get bored. Hey now, you're an all-star, get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Go for the move, go for the move, go for the move.
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid, and all that glitters is gold.
To the bridge, Avery. All right, that was the tail end of our live remix of Smash Mouth All Star here on Rock 102.1. That's just on the podcast broadcast, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So you can see that on demand, youtube.com/beefvegan, or on our social media pages. Now, Ryan is my boss, and he's a young man. He's only 26 years old. But if you're looking
actually, about to be 26.
That's such
Just to rub it in a
that's
little
such a
bit.
kid answer, too. Yeah. Like, how old are you? Well, I'm about to be 26. So you're 25.
25 and a half.
Yeah,
Remember we always used to go off the half birthdays.
Yeah, you can't. You just got to go with the actual age at this point. Everyone knows what you're about to turn, based off whatever your current age is. But you are a young man. You're still kind of hip to the game. It's hard to tell because you got such a responsible haircut. But I want to do a definitions game with you because dictionary.com just added 327 new terms, which essentially is like modern day youthful slang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to see now you're already management material. And I knew when I first met you a couple seasons ago that you were going to be manager based off the way you carried yourself and your haircut. The haircut goes a long ways. It really does.
Actually, just got one on Monday, so
I-
you've got the full experience right now. It's fresh.
I know. It looks so corporate, dude. So corporate. But at the same time, you're still 25, and you know you're hip. You still hang out, and hip. No one says that. But I'm gonna give you some slang. I want to see if you know the definition of it, because these words are now actual words that are in dictionary.com. So these are documented vocabulary words that in the future people look back and be like, oh, look how dumb 2024 was. Is it 2024? Yeah. Okay. So what do you know what the definition of bed rotting is?
Bed rotting.
Yeah, bed rotting. Now I don't think it's something that you do because you're working your ass off, so you haven't been bed rotting too much. But
Is that like kind of a new form of couch potato? But instead you're in bed too much and you're just binging TV shows and you're in bed for too long.
yes and no. You know, it's a conscious decision of the practice of spending many hours in bed during the day, often with snacks or an electronic device, as a voluntary retreat from activity or stress. That's the nicest way to say giving up on life, becoming a sloth. But bed rotting was added to dictionary.com. All right, what about this? You know, you got a girlfriend. Has she ever used the term the ick?
The ick. That's like, it's just something that you find. It's like a new form of red flag in terms of like, you know, it used to be a red flag if you saw something in a girl that you don't really enjoy. Like, it's kind of an updated version of that, I think.
Yeah, I think you're on to something. The definition is a sudden feeling of disgust or dislike, often in response to the actions of another person. So yeah, it's like a red flag in a way. The ick. I think everyone knows what mid means.
Yeah.
Nowadays, right? So that's mediocre. You know what bussin' is?
Yeah, that's kind of a hard one to
No, it's
describe.
not. Well,
Like,
if you've been saying it and you don't know what the actual definition is, then you're just posing. So what's bussin'?
I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. It's hip. It's something that I like. You know, like,
There you go.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's great, wonderful, or amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you were on point on that one. What about boob knee? Boob knee.
Boob knee.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing, but now I'm gonna use it all the time.
Is the front half of that like boob like I'm thinking of?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that-
like boob, like we're all thinking of all the time.
I have not heard that one before.
It's neither have I. It's pimples or a rash caused by your bra.
Oh.
Yeah. I wish Brandon was here
okay.
right now. 'Cause he-
So yeah, it's acne and boob knee. I would say
Yeah.
like
a boob,
like
yeah.
a knee.
Like you got a
Like, I was
nipple on your knee.
confused.
It's a boob knee.
You got a knee that looks like a boob.
I've seen that. I've definitely seen that. All right, and these are all words again or terms added to dictionary.com. You know, and this is just a way for parents to understand what kind of dumbass language their kids are speaking. And then final one is range anxiety. Range anxiety. Do you know what that is?
Obviously, we all know what anxiety is, but I'm trying to figure out what the range.
Yeah, and don't feel bad that if you don't know this, because I mean, I don't know this either. And even though I'm older, I still try to like pride myself on being cool. You know, I'm still holding on to that dream. You see my hat, it's backwards, but I've never heard of range anxiety. So what do you think that is?
I almost want to say it's like feeling anxiety from like almost like a faraway situation, like maybe a situation you aren't directly involved in. Like you have range anxiety from something that like you're seeing or like you're experiencing anxiety for someone else.
I think you're over intellectualizing it. Really. Yeah. You know, which happens. But they say the fear that an electric vehicle's battery will run out of power before you get to where you're going. That's a
It's a
modern day
battery
problem.
range. Yeah, that's a first world problem right there. if I've ever
Absolutely.
heard of one.
Yeah. So sorry, your Tesla can go an extra couple
I
miles.
can't get to the supercharger in time. I don't have enough range.
So range anxiety is a thing that people are starting to develop. Go figure. Well, there you go. Some new words, dictionary.com. We're going to hit the reset and keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. But when we return after new music from Dead Posey, we're going to give you an opportunity to win tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners. We got two great games back to back happening this weekend. We're going to give you the rundown of what to expect, including what Adrian Denny is calling the biggest game of the year this Saturday, and why you need to show up there early if you have kids. All that more coming up next, and Beef Vegan Presents. Don't go away. Do you have so Saturday is youth jersey night, right?
Yeah.
So that's huge. And so how many jerseys are we giving away on Saturday?
I believe what we're advertising is the first 1,000 kids 12 and under.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So first 998. I'm gonna grab a couple.
Yeah.
But so is it the home Kachina? Is it the white Kachina? Do you know what kind it is?
So it's actually here, I can show you a picture of it. We actually just posted it.
Yeah, hold it up to the camera. Shoot Ray.
It is based off the Kachina again, but it's slightly different. Got a little bit more purple and white on it.
Okay, nice.
So there you go. It's
Yeah.
mainly purple with the white accents.
Okay, yeah, I like that, dude. Oh yeah, we gonna get jerseys like that?
I can give you one, but you're gonna look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah,
trying to fit into it.
I meant for like the boys, you know, like I don't need to wear the kid jersey. That's just weird.
Like actually developing that into a game jersey.
Yeah,
I told Bob that I was like, when I want to do an all purple Kachina. We've done the white Kachina. You're wearing the black Kachina. I
Yeah,
think an all
game
purple. I think all purple would look really cool.
I got
Really
a
cool.
compliment from my Duncan girl this morning on my jersey as well, and I was like, "Whoa, slow down, girl." And now the throwback Roadrunner jerseys that night's coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
and I'm excited about that. Are you watching the stream right now? You seeing what we got going on?
I can.
Oh well, what you can't see is that I pulled up Todd Marley. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning.
I just threw out random email invites this morning. I was like, yeah, you can join us and have some fun. And of course, Todd could see Ryan as well. You got to come out with your wife to the games. When's this going to happen, Todd?
Well, when the stars align and we go do it.
Stars aligning. Okay. You know what? If you move this mouse, well, actually, no, I don't have it pulled up. I didn't have anything prepared in time, dude. I had a couple things happen this morning. So I pre-recorded the first 2 hours of the show because I realized Weirdo has this situation with her daughter, right? Teenage daughter's kind of out of control. And I'll let Weirdo go into the details of this. But with that, she's been kind of inconsistent on what days she could show up. And knowing this, I tried to get ahead of it. And I wanted to pre-record I had like 4 people on the show yesterday. And we were going to just record a bunch of segments for Friday, and I was going to take Friday off. And Razor, my music director, didn't upload the playlist for the next day when I wanted to record. So I could only record the first 2 hours of the day, which is fine. And then I hit up a Weirdo, and I was like, all right, we're doing a show from 8 to 10. So
Yeah.
nice and easy Friday, right? And she's like, cool, all about it. And then I get a text at like 11:30 at night, being like, can't do it. And I was like, son of a bitch, right? And so, yeah, so then I go this first hour of, just I get in around 7:30. I'm listening to the show this morning. I'm still up from 6 to 8 as I'm preparing. And then I get in and I'm having some fun. And then I bring up Modest Yahoo, getting canceled at the Rialto Theater, which is a very like sensitive subject because you're talking Israel Palestine.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that correctly. And this is why it's so bad that I even bring this up, especially when I'm by myself. Because what happened was the Rialto Theater made an announcement only like 2 hours before the show saying no show tonight as a concern to everybody's safety. Apparently there was going to be some protesters, pro-Palestine protesters there. And I don't know if there's been any statements from Modest Yahoo, who's a Jewish artist, on either side of the fence. I haven't heard anything. As far as did Modest Yahoo make a strong statement pro-Israel or pro-Palestine? And again, I keep saying it wrong. This is why I shouldn't even fuck with this subject. And so I try to explain. I play a little bit of news clip. I wanted to play Modest Yahoo's King Without a Crown because I really like that song.
Yeah.
And of course, this is something that's like a hot topic that happened here in our own backyard last night. And so as I'm explaining it, I have a classic beefism, and then I immediately get called out afterwards, right? And then I'm like, this is why I don't talk about this stuff. This is the phone call that I received right after I had this, and I'm tiptoeing on the subject too. There's another thing too. I'm not taking a hard stance on this. I don't take a hard stance on anything political or religious. It's just not my lane. I have my own opinions based off of what limited information I might absorb. But when it's talking about like Middle East politics
Nerd
in
alert!
general,
Nerd alert!
I'm just
Nerd
saying.
alert.
I just haven't invested enough of my time to have a strong formatted opinion about the subject matter. All I want is the hippie aspect of peace and love, right? I hope that everyone can live peacefully and this can get resolved without any more bloodshed, right? That's my pussy stance on
Yeah.
this, right? Me just like, but whenever I try to like dip my toes in the water to be like, hey, about this, this thing that we're all like fighting over, this happened last night because of it. I still fuck up. And so I get this call. There's a call. Let's see what we got. Rock 1 2x1. Who's this?
Hey, buddy, it's Palestine, not Pakistan, bro.
Did I say Pakistan?
Yes, you did. I just want to give.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know.
Ah!
I know. I'm that stupid. Where I'm even trying to like again softly like just convey the news based off of just the information, right?
Yeah,
Like,
hey, did you know?
I want to be as factual as possible without, forming like stating an opinion on one way or another, right? Just because that's not what I was looking to do this morning. I'm by myself, right? I'm just like, I just want to play some music, but hey, here's some big local news. I just got to mention this. And then I mention it wrong and in a way to make it even more offensive that I, just showed my ignorance in like so much. So, so yeah, that happened this morning. So I'm still recovering from that. The guy was nice though.
We can't leave Uncle Beef all by himself. That's what happens.
That's what
We
it
get
was.
Uncle Beef when it comes out all by yourself.
This
Or
is
the
what
Skunkle
happens.
Beef. The Skunkle
Yeah.
Beef. Our stoned uncle.
I needed somebody there in real time. Like if you were here while I touched on this very sensitive topic, to be like, I believe you mean Palestine and not Pakistan. I'm like, oh, you're
I
absolutely
would
right.
have screamed nerd alert long before you got there.
It's still a weird thing. That Madish Yahoo essentially was canceled last night because of that, and I don't know what kind of statements he has made, or if any. He is Jewish and he's converted Jewish, by the way. He wasn't born into Judaism. What happened was with Madish Yahoo, he was a partier. He was a hippie. He would actually follow Fish around on tour. You ever been to a Fish concert?
No, I haven't.
Psychedelic. It really is. It's actually a pretty cool experience, but also strange because
I don't think I have the haircut for that.
no, you
Follow
don't.
that around.
You don't. But don't worry. I stuck out like a sore thumb too. And I got a bunch of dirty looks like, what are you doing here? And I went to about 5 Fish shows when I was younger because my college roommate was really into Fish. He was a hippie and I was into drugs. So I was just like, yeah, let's go. So you would go there.
Aw.
Yeah, it was common ground. And I remember a couple things from my Fish concert experiences. But the first thing that blew my mind, which I never thought I'd ever see, was the open air drug market that follows Fish around from city to city. So this is what would happen if you ever went to a Fish concert, dude. Yeah, in the parking lot before the concert, there's all these people tailgating, right? Like it's Super Bowl
Yeah.
Sunday. But the difference is people are walking around and they're holding up like a finger. They'll hold up 1 finger or 2 finger. Some people will just have signs. Those fingers signify what drugs they are currently possessing that they're willing to sell, right? And so they're just like acid, mushrooms, weed brownies, goo balls, lots of goo balls, right? For whatever reason. And it's insane. And you're just like, whoa, like I'm not a cop, right? But if I was a cop and I was looking to, I don't know, make some bonuses, like, hey, just racked up a bunch of perps. And this is way before marijuana was legal.
Let's go to the Fish concert.
Right. I'm like, these guys are openly selling and trading drugs out in the open, like to the point where they're like yelling out, hey guys, I got drugs over here. Drugs here. Like the popcorn guy at the Roadrunners game. Goo balls. Loaded up with cocaine goo balls. So yeah, it blew my mind. And I went one day out in LA. We were at the Forum and we're about to go into the concert and we had some mushrooms, but wasn't enough to go around. So me and a couple people ate some mushrooms. And then my buddy was like, oh man, you didn't give me mushrooms for me? This is messed up. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, we're at a Fish concert. Like, you know how many people here have mushrooms? Like, so many people have mushrooms. And I look, there's this like stoned hippie guy standing right next to him that we had no idea who he was, right? He's just a stranger in the next car, just standing there, just kind of scoping the scene. And I'm like, this guy probably has mushrooms for sale. And the guy goes, I do. And the problem was solved. And my roommate bought the mushrooms off the guy, and those mushrooms were better than the mushrooms that we got, So, moral of the story, that's what Modest Yahoo was. He was a fish guy. Totally forgot.
Getting back to why we were talking.
Yeah. Okay, so my point was Modest Yahoo, he was like a raver / hippie fish guy who would follow fish around all over the country. And he partied so much that he ended up getting religious because of it, and then adopted Judaism and went to hardcore Judaism. So it wasn't like he was just like, wear yarmulke at the synagogue like once a week. No, he went full blown kind of rabbi, Judaism. And he's been living a uber clean and religious life ever since then. It was kind of like drugs that led him there, oddly enough.
He saw God one night.
Yeah. I like how I went. That was a long road to get back there. And I was lost for a minute. I was like, why are we talking about this again? But we're back. Rockwell 2.1
so fish.
We're hanging out here. I got Todd Marley on the podcast broadcast stream. I got Ryan, who's the game ops manager for your Tucson Roadrunners, and this, of course, is a game day. So it's always a pleasure to have Ryan in. And he's in charge of organizing different themes, the festivities that are going to be happening throughout the game, and how we're going to promote it tonight. What is the theme tonight? Is there one?
So it's another College Friday night.
Yeah.
So the $10 tickets for the college students. Link is on TucsonRunners.com. Just use your Arizona or Pima community email address. We're actually kind of turning it into a sort of ALS awareness night. ALS Arizona is our charity partner for the night.
Nice.
So they're doing the ceremonial puck drop. We've got some graphics that we're playing, just ALS awareness sort of stuff. But
that's cool. Does that mean like the 50-50 will go to the ALS too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
The 50-50 raffle going to ALS Arizona. We're going to have you. I was going to explain in the meeting later, but we have a couple like patients that we're just going to ask a few quick questions over the mic during one of the intermissions and just kind of get their thoughts on basically what ALS Arizona does and their mission
okay.
in our community.
Look at me. Yeah. So I'll be someone like a live field reporter.
Yeah.
Nice. Filling people in. That's good. Is there going to be an on ice game tonight, or do we have a performance?
Yeah. So tonight we're bringing back the bull races.
Nice.
And it's kind of funny. We kind of keep reusing this we're passing around the partners and the sponsors. So tonight we're doing Old Tucson for the bull race. So
nice.
We start out with PBR. We keep getting these like country themed sponsors that come in. We had the rodeo parade, and now we got Old Tucson. So the fans are probably going to catch on to at some point here that we just keep reusing our bulls for different sponsors. But Julie keeps selling them, and I keep going to her. It's like, you just want to do the bull races again.
Yeah, they're so fun. Yeah. Well, that and honestly, Hungry Humans and musical chairs. Those are the trifecta.
Classics.
The bull races. Yeah, those three. If we could continue to rotate those three, then we're good.
Yeah.
I have the most fun with the bull racing and the musical chairs.
Yeah,
those two.
We need to get back into the musical chairs because we haven't done it in a long time because we've had performances and we have to do Hungry Humans because that's sponsored, but I want to do musical chairs here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then tomorrow night is the biggest night of the year. According to Adrian Denny, we're going to pack out the arena because it's youth jersey night.
Yep.
And we showed what the youth jerseys look like on the podcast broadcast stream. You can see them at TucsonRoadrunners.com. They're awesome. And they're going to be free for kids 12 and under. But the first 1,000 jerseys. So the key is you want to get there and lined up around 6.
Yeah.
As soon as they open up those doors, you get in, be one of the first 1,000 people to get in to get that jersey. Then your kid's going to get a free Tucson Roadrunners jersey, and it looks dope. It's a dope ass looking jersey.
Yeah. And our giveaways have been going quick this year.
No, I know.
Beach towels lasted all of like 6 or 7 minutes on beach night. So definitely get there early.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they go so fast that I don't even get a chance to steal a couple. And I try each and every time. And I haven't been able to steal one promotional item all season long. So, I mean, I guess that's kudos to the fans for coming out early
Yeah.
and grabbing them up before I mosey on upstairs. But I'm telling you right now, I don't even have any kids to give this jersey to, but you better get there early before I get them because I will. I will grab them. So that's a threat. I do have tickets I want to give away for your Tucson Roadrunners. It's going to be for tonight's game. So if you guys are looking to have some fun, it's college night. So, you know, the beers are going to be flowing and you want to party, then give me a call right now, 600 KFMA, 600-5362, because I want to play a game. The game's going to be simple. I'm going to do a round of the last word. We'll do callers number 6 and 9. 600 KFMA, 600-5362. All right, so if you want to go see your Tucson Roadrunners tonight play against the Ontario Reign. And the last time we played the Reign at home, it was a bloodbath, dude. These guys hate each other. They hate each other, dude. It was brutal and awesome to watch. So we'll do callers number 6 and 9 to do this up. Let's see who caller number 1 is. Rock 1, 2.1, who's this? Denny? All right, Denny, let's see who you're playing against. Rock 1, 2.1, who's this?
What number is it?
Oh, you're caller number 9. You're going to be one of my contestants. What's your name?
Awesome. Marcy.
Marcy. All right, Marcy versus Denny and the last word. All right, so here's how we're going to do this game. It's a verbal hot potato game. I'm going to start off with a category, and we're going to start off with one caller giving an answer. The next caller is going to give an answer back. You guys are going to go back and forth, giving acceptable answers for said category without repeating each other. Whoever gets the last acceptable answer in before 30 seconds runs out wins the round and the tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners, because we're only going to do one round of the last word. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We'll start off with Denny. 30 seconds on the clock will begin when I finish asking this. Okay. So our team is the Tucson Roadrunners. It's an animal. All the great teams have an animal for a mascot. All of them. Okay. I don't care about the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, honestly, or the 49ers. None of them should have been there. It should have been an animal in the Super Bowl, but I digress. All right. So I need you, Denny, to give me the name of an animal that's a mascot for a team and go.
The Gold,
Hold on. What was that?
the hockey team.
Oh, the goals.
Yeah, San
okay.
Diego Gulls.
Oh, yeah, the goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Marcy.
The Bears.
The Bears. Yes. Denny.
Roadrunners.
Okay. Yes. All right. Marcy.
Panthers.
Okay. Denny.
Lions.
Okay. Marcy.
The Dome.
Oh, Marcy. Hesitation. I know.
Name any animal and justify it after the fact.
Yeah, well, that's hindsight. Well, Marcy, thank you so much for trying. I'll tell you what, though, unfortunately, I don't have an extra pair of tickets to give you for today, but all next week, I'm going to be giving away tickets. And next week, the 2 different theme nights, we have Taylor Swift night. And what's on Friday night next week?
Throwback night / hockey day in Southern Arizona.
Yeah, so we got a lot of fun stuff happening next weekend as well. So we'll be giving away those tickets all week long. So just keep listening for your opportunities to win and hopefully come out and see a game here soon, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
Denny, good news
Bye.
for you. You're going to be hanging out with us tonight to see the Tucson Roadrunners play against the Ontario Reign. So stay on the line. I'm going to get all your info, okay?
All right. Cool. Thank you.
No worries. All right, let's hit the reset on the FM side. We got more coming up after new music from the Black Keys and Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Boop. All right, cool. Clear. See?
Yeah, look at that.
Ah, look at that. Playing games and doing things. All right. Here, I'm going to get Denny's information. And then for the rest of you here, let's see. Earlier this week, we had a good time we did a 5-star review already. Solo VD. Did we talk about Solo VD? Let's talk about Solo VD. In on you, buddy. When you get this message, please give me a call back. All right, thank you. Sorry, I was just leaving a message for God. Just again, don't need anything. Just checking in, just touching base.
Right.
Yeah,
You're such a good guy.
yeah. I'm trying, man, for
Yeah.
humanity. All right, it is now 6:51. Let's get weird with Weirdo. What'd you find for Valentine's?
Oh, sometimes for Valentine's Day, there's a lot of people out there that, they're like, you know what? This year I ain't got nobody, and I'm gonna treat myself right.
You know what? I'm in that camp. So yeah, treat yourself for
Uh-huh.
sure. Give me some good examples of how to treat yourself on Valentine's.
Well, you gotta you have a little night in.
Okay.
You're like, you know what? I know where I like to be touched.
Yeah.
I can take care of this.
My peen. Okay.
You know, I got my favorite horn that I could pull up and just have a good time. Just don't do it in public.
Oh.
Please keep it private.
Oh, so there's guys that are trying to get a little added excitement by self-loving in a public area. That's not good. Where was it? Like a park or something?
In a library.
Oh, is this a specific person? Tell me more.
So there's a 25-year-old man in Tennessee named Mark, and he was in the Vanderbilt University Divinity Library.
Wow.
Yeah, so somebody called the cops being like, hey, there's this dude watching some porno. Like, he's got to go.
Yeah.
So by the time cops showed up, he had his pants down around his ankles.
Oh, no.
Hands in his boxers.
Wow.
Going to town.
Why do you have to? So many questions. I'm like, why do you have to have your pants down by your ankles, dude? If you still keep your boxers on, it's so like
right, exactly.
just unbuckle.
Right, but unfortunately, this also led to the officers having a real difficult time arresting him
Why?
because he had an unidentified substance on his hand.
Oh no!
It was lube, so they couldn't cuff him because he just kept slipping away.
No, really?
Well, in addition to that, they found an. Do you remember those M&M's like tube candies?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that on him, and they're like, "Oh, look, he was giving himself a little treat." Yeah, with a crack pipe and tobacco inside.
Oh well,
Yeah, and he was really treating himself.
yeah. Now all makes sense because you're like, what in the world? What was he thinking? Like, oh, he was on crack.
Mhm.
Decided to self-love in a library with lube. Yeah, and that's something that a crackhead would do. I would never self-love in the library, but that's
No.
because I'm a loud self-lover. You know, like. It's like my neighbors sometimes tell me to keep it down and be like, hey, you're getting too wild with your guests. And like, there's no guests. That's me. I do both moans. I go high and low.
Well, he was charged with public indecency, resisting arrest, and trespassing. And his excuse? I was horny. That was it.
Yeah.
Just kept it simple.
That's his alibi.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let that be a lesson to all you single bros out there. Do not self-love in the library
No.
or in public in general.
Yeah,
There are better ways to
yeah.
treat yourself on this
Mhm.
Valentine's Day. We're going to hit the reset, be back with your app, My Life right after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I don't know if I'll go on with that. All right, so we're back on the air. That was Solo VD. I don't even recall what that was, but let me ask you this. I just saw Taco's comment here talking about Taylor Swift, how she donated $100,000 to the fallen DJ that, passed away in that senseless shooting that happened for the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl day parade, which was good. And she's doing what Travis Kelce should have probably did. And she's probably, saving face in that situation. But Travis Kelce, in the meantime, and Brittany Mahomes are getting a lot of flack for them continuing to celebrate and party after the shooting. And they all knew that the shooting was happening. And it was one of those things where I wanted to kind of ask you guys, like, do you blame Travis Kelce in this situation? Or do you understand that, like he continued on with his day after this because we're so used to this kind of senseless gun violence that you just kind of shake it off and then still celebrate the Super Bowl or what?
Or Taylor Swift.
Well, Taylor
Yeah.
Swift wasn't even there, right? And Taylor Swift, of course, she's a politician, one of the most liked artists on the planet. So of course she's going to do the right thing. And keep in mind, she donated $100,000 to the family. She spent over $1 million just for that suite in Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even though she probably didn't. The NFL probably hooked her up. What do you think, Todd? You want to touch this?
I don't know if I blame him in the moment of just like if the parade is going on with having a show must go on mentality with it, because you're out there in the parade and it's for other people's celebration. So maybe there is that mentality. The rest of the day when you leave, is he supposed to go into mourning over this, or is he just supposed to, is there a protocol for what happens afterwards in a large event like this that you're not directly involved in?
Right. Yeah.
So
It is kind of tough, and again, I really think it's another situation where we are so desensitized on that, where, you tweet out the thoughts and prayers,
Yeah.
right? And then you continue to go on with your day, I guess. That's what most Americans do, whether they admit it or not. It is sad, but
What are you supposed to do? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
go on with your day.
write letters to your congressman, I guess. I don't know.
Take a moment and write a letter.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, but of course, I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. Now, the gossip magazines are having a fun time with, predicting that Taylor Swift is going to dump Travis Kelce for two reasons. One was the way he kind of had an outburst with Andy Reid on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, "That's a red flag, girl. Look at it. Look at him yelling.
It's an ick.
It's an ick, apparently." I'm like, "Oh, the guy's passionate about trying to play in a Super Bowl." But then too, after the fact, it does say something to me that she publicly made this $100,000 donation, and Travis Kelce didn't publicly do anything. Right? That is odd to me. Like in a way, yeah. Like again, it's kind of like.
Can you articulate it?
Can I articulate it?
Or why it bothers you?
Well, because it seems like either she's trying to make up for his gaffe to get ahead of it, or, because obviously they're attached at the hip when it comes to the public perception, right? So, you have one story on this side saying, look at this guy being wasted and a maniac and not caring or having any empathy for the community of Kansas City. And then you have this angel face on the other side donating $100,000 to a stranger's family because she feels empathy for their loss, right? These are two opposite extremes of the PR spectrum, right? And this is all PR. This is all public, actions, right?
Was there any statement with it? Like, is it just Taylor donating, or did it say like Taylor and Travis?
Didn't know there's no attachment to Travis's name.
Or was there an expectation of other players to give money to this? Like, I don't.
Well, that there's another thing too, because I'm absolutely sure that the organization as a whole will figure out something, donate money to help, cover some of these victims. I'm sure for the community, these big sports organizations, they do great when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm sure the Kansas City Chiefs are going to do something. They didn't do it as quickly as Taylor Swift did. And it is not a private donation by any means. In fact, actually, I'm trying to find the actual statement, but there was some sort of a statement in a way of saying, here's 100,000, sorry for your loss type deal. But yeah, but this is the public perception. And again, these are both public figures, and you always have to kind of consider like, okay, what's the motive behind the scenes, right? Now, Taylor Swift is known to be an empathetic person and a good quality person. That's part of her appeal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce doesn't have a bad reputation as far as character flaws are concerned, except, like I would say that he did look like a fool, celebrating the Super Bowl. He was getting a little too wasted, and then they shouldn't have gave him a mic to do a sing-along song and read off lyrics to Garth Brooks' Low Places and try to get people to, participate. It was, they were clowning a little bit. And so it was a bad look on that aspect, but it is odd to me, and it will be interesting to see what happens and unfolds over the next few weeks or months. Not because of this, but there is something to it. And Travis Kelce, will he speak up? Will he donate money? He has money as well. Just made a Super Bowl bonus, right?
Yeah.
His girlfriend just one-upped him big time and donated $100,000, right? While he has photographs released of him partying with his quarterback's wife and all his friends at a restaurant, eating, drinking, just hours after this happened, smiling, hugging, laughing, whole thing. So I don't know.
Hours afterwards, were they supposed to cancel their dinner plans and then sit there morose?
Yeah. In fact, actually, yes. I think they should have DoorDashed it and had a private get together. Honestly. Yeah. I mean, if at the very least,
you gotta realize that, you're a public figure, and this event just happened. You probably if you're going to go out in public, you probably shouldn't be partying, right?
Is anybody within that circle saying, hey, you guys realize this is a bad look? At the very least, it's a bad look. Let's see. We're going here. Rock 102.1 KFMA, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Have an interesting debate going on real quick. And it's Friday. I don't know if I want to get too heavy on a Friday. But we'll do it anyways. F it. The debate is, Travis Kelce's look after the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl party shooting that happened. And then the look that Taylor Swift presented by donating $100,000 to the victim, Lisa. I'm forgetting her last name real quick, but she was a Kansas City DJ, a wedding DJ and a public radio DJ. Yeah, Taylor Swift donated $100,000 to her and her family, to help cover costs out of empathy. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce's getting roasted in the media for continuing to go out and celebrate with Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany Mahomes, at a restaurant. What's interesting is Patrick Mahomes isn't seen in these pictures. Patrick Mahomes isn't getting any of this kind of blowback, right? But I do think it was just kind of a bad look on a part of the players of the Kansas City Chiefs in this situation. I understand we're desensitized to these kind of tragedies, but they should have went not to a public restaurant, should have took it to somebody's house and continued the celebration after you do, your condolences and show some empathy to the community that supported you and was there for you in the first place, right? What am I doing on this high horse? I don't get it. I mean, I didn't have a D joke lined up already. That's my problem. I got hot takes though.
You got left alone too long, and Skunkle Beef has taken over.
Skunkle Beef. Look, okay. So here's the thing. Yesterday, I fired off some hot takes because this is pretty much like a hot take, and that's what you guys want. You guys want a little controversy?
Yeah.
Then I got you. I actually put together a list of my hot takes that I have, and I'm like, if you're gonna cancel me, well, let me help you out. Here's some hot takes I fired off yesterday in case you missed it. All right, Rico, if this is a hot take in your mind, I need you to say hot take, okay? This way I know what takes are actually hot or is lukewarm. And I want you guys to go along as well. If you think it's a hot take, say hot take, okay?
Yeah.
Todd and Ryan, let's go, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
I'll give you a hot take. Oreos should not be classified as cookies. Oreos should be classified as a cream pie sandwich. Hot take? No?
Lukewarm. take.
Yeah,
That's lukewarm.
All right. Hot take?
Lukewarm.
Okay. Cable news anchors should be shown only from the waist down while broadcasting, since most of them just talk out their ass. All right. Hot take or lukewarm?
I'm gonna have to go lukewarm again.
Okay.
Uh,
What do you say, Todd?
I'm gonna agree with the lukewarm. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hot take.
Hot take. Okay. You know what? If Big Bird was real, he'd be terrifying and we would probably hunt him down. All right. Hot take or lukewarm?
I say that's lukewarm because I agree with that.
You agree with
That's
that?
a-
You don't want
That's a
that
hot
thing
take.
running around.
and He'd also be delicious.
Oh, yeah. We'd eat him. We would eat Big Bird all day.
We'd eat Big Bird. Oh, we'd eat Big Bird. Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
eat a
That's it.
Big Bird farm.
Lukewarm.
Really? All right, we'll see. I got two lukewarms and a hot take, but you do agree. You would be
Yeah.
terrified of Big Bird if it was real.
Well, it's lukewarm because I agree with it.
yeah. I mean, essentially, Big Bird's a dinosaur in real life. And if that dinosaur could speak and come after you and be like, I'm going to move into your neighborhood, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm moving out. I mean, honestly, it's almost like a living dinosaur. Oh, see, I just said that. Anyways, here's a
That's what
hot
happened
take.
to Larry David.
Yeah, here's a hot take. People who grew up watching MILF porn should probably switch to GILF porn now, because if they don't, they'd be watching age-appropriate porn.
Ooh, hot take.
And that's just gross. All right, what do you think? Hot take or no?
Man, no, it's lukewarm because it's just true. You're just accurate. It's not hot. It's just true.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have to agree with that one. Too,
Some
yeah.
hot takes are true, Todd.
Well, that's why they're lukewarm.
Fine, come on.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Caliente.
And I'll give you one more hot take. This is a hot take. Okay. McDonald's is so expensive now that they might as well offer a happy ending meal. Because if we're going to get screwed, at least let us finish. All right. Hot take or no?
I mean,
That's a
yeah, hot take.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Hot
Yeah. Let's see what Rico says.
Hot take.
That's right. All right, Claire, we're in the commercials. All right. So that's how we hit that hard reset. I'm sorry. There's been a couple times that I've swerved off of my path. I apologize. All right. Woo. Like I wasn't even going to show up today, to be honest with you. I was going to make this a 4-day weekend in a way. I was like, I got 2 games back to back. That was going to work. I got President's Day off. But at the same time, I want to ride with our streamers and plug the Roadrunners games and stuff like that. So what are you looking at? What you got pulled up?
I got Bob messaging me and stuff. yeah.
Oh, is Bob
No-
saying
no big deal.
he's like, what are you doing on Beef Show? You're
No,
gonna
I
get us
told
all
him I
fired.
told him I was gonna be here. Don't expect me in. until I'm done with this.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, Bob's a supporter. You know, he would appreciate most of those hot
Is
takes.
Bob a
too.
subscriber?
Just subscriber to the YouTube page? He is not, dude. I know everyone who subscribes to the page, and unfortunately, Bob is not. And we've hooked him up with tickets. So Bob, if he watches this, which he's not going to watch it, he should absolutely subscribe. Like, come on, bro. Back up your boy.
Come on.
And you know, and I am his boy. In fact, actually, I believe that. I mean, the reason why I'm still with the organization is because of Bob. Because I think the person before, and I actually said it to the person before Ryan, who was in charge, not Mark, but the one before, had no plans of keeping me around. I think it was Bob. It was like, no, you got to keep this guy. And then you could add on your female empowerment co-hosts and stuff like that. I will say this, dude, on Ryan, like, you are, you know, like I've had many game ops managers, right? And so far this season, you did it fantastic. You're the second best game ops manager that I've worked for with this organization, only behind the man who trained you, you know, and that's only because the guy who trained you, you know, obviously has had all the experience, so he knows, you know, but you've been solid all the way through and already far superior than the two predecessors before you. And for a couple reasons, you know, the one predecessor who went on to Vegas was just a hot mess and everything, and just had like no vision or communication whatsoever. And, you know, and it was a very like difficult environment to work in. Like I was literally going to quit. Yeah. I was like, done. And this is extra money and fun. Interacting with the fans and being a part of the organization was all like positives. And positive for my own career and promoting the show. But I was like, nah, this chick's not even worth it. And then the one after her, you know, who I enjoy as a person, you know, I just felt like she lack of communication was also a part of the issue. And then her, like, it was almost like a toxic work culture because she would put out negativity so much, you know, she would be such a negative person and pissy. That energy was the energy that we fed off of, and that was not great either. And it was honestly a shit show, you know, her whole thing. As much as I like wish her all the best, because I do appreciate her as a person. She was fantastic to have on the show. She's a firecracker as a personality. But as a boss in that situation, I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. And I will say, like, legitimately, Todd, this kid's doing it right. You know, and I think a part of it is because he kept this old man on, you know, helping him look good. Yeah. Do I not help you look good?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you're what? Probably at least like half of the show, right? Half of the entertainment, at least.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I don't know about half the entertainment. There's some days where I'm like, it's easy money. I'm just sitting there for the first half of the game, not doing nothing but watching the game. I'm like, just living the life, man. You guys could do the same when you come out to the Roadrunners hockey games tonight and tomorrow. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Make sure you guys come out, get there early on Saturday, especially to get your youth jersey for free. And when you see me, make sure you say hi. If you're one of our listeners, one of our streamers, I'll move you down, get you closer to the ice and the beef vegan section that we have there in section 101. Get you all close to the action and make sure it's an experience that you guys walk away from enjoying and hopefully remembering for years to come, because we have a good time. And our team up there, tied for first place. You know, Coachella Valley is our nemesis, and we are 1 point behind them. So this weekend, we catch up. We take the lead. We are continuing to dominate the Pacific Division, and hopefully we'll be marching towards a deep playoff run and getting that elusive Calder Cup for the very first time. Todd, thank you for jumping in on the podcast broadcast stream. Ryan, thank you as always. Tonight and tomorrow, you can get your tickets, TucsonRoadrunners.com. That's all the time we have for the show. Unfortunately, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef,
remember, if you hear Beef by himself here, send help immediately. No good comes of it. He needs a supervisor.
I will knock out all your teeth.
It's Palestine, not Pakistan, you dumbass.